Hi everyone, and welcome to today's haircut. So I got Jessica in my chair today and I've never seen Jessica before. Funnily enough, she was recommended to me by one of my really good clients. So we're gonna do a consultation. I'm gonna find out everything we're gonna do and we're gonna do this live on camera. So come in and let's start consultating. Jessica, how are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Excellent, perfect. Let's chat about hair. I'm gonna take your hair down.
Yeah.
We're gonna chat about it. As I said, I've never met you before, so
Yes.
this is brand new for me to cut your hair, to see your hair, to have some fun. So tell me a little bit about what you want, what you're thinking, what we can do today. What are the...
So I haven't had a haircut.
That's a beautiful hair. Have you seen this?
5 years.
5 years. You haven't had a haircut in 5 years.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And why is that? Just growing it out? Just wanting something longer? Yep.
Haven't had a chance to go in. And I like it long for sure.
Yep.
But also I'm really open to something new.
Nice. Perfect.
Because I haven't done anything for so long. So.
And then tell me how you style your hair at home. Tell me what you do. Tell me all the things that you...
I try not to use any heat on my hair.
Yep.
Just because it's too time consuming.
Gotcha.
So I usually do the
Can I dry it
overnight
today?
curls.
Are you okay with I put the dryer on it today?
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
perfect. Nice. But classically at home, you'll put product in and just leave it.
Just do the overnight curls.
Yep.
And that's all I do to my hair.
Nice.
Yeah. So not a lot of maintenance.
Excellent. And do you like hair in your face, off your face? Do you brush it back a lot? Do you tend to sweep the front around? Do you have a preference for fringes?
Not at home, it's always down.
It's always down?
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
I thought you was going to say it's always up, and I was like, oh, come on.
No, it's always down.
It's always down.
At home,
Yep.
Life gets busy, so
That's it.
throw
Perfect.
it up, but
Nice.
it doesn't have to be thrown up.
Good, good, good. So, as we can see, I've got some beautiful hair here, lots of hair, which is great. I'm honestly thinking from the consultation, I sort of love what we've got going on, but it needs more. When I look at the length down the bottom, I love the length. I think proportionate-wise from the face, when we're working with the shape, it looks good. So 2 inches off the length, I think for me would be perfect. I do want to give a lot more shape through the face though, like when I look through here. And Matt, come around and just throw into the camera. I just want you to sort of see this area, just see what I'm seeing here. All this area, when I'm moving this gets really thick, really full. I find that's where the shape's sort of grown out and it's lost its energy. So to have that with a little bit more movement to it, if I bring that up a little bit, something that we're seeing this, I think that would sit really nice just with a bit more shape around the face. But I do feel something within that fringe realm that you can sort of flick left or right, to have that sort of kind of movement would be really good as well. Have you ever had a fringe before?
Love that, yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
In the past, when I was like a teenager, I always got it very heavily layered.
Oh yeah, nice. So you're used to that, you're comfortable with it. Excellent. I love that you said to me that you don't blow dry it. So to do the haircut where we can just put some product in, just some scrunch some product in, and maybe just leave it is really beneficial, and I love that. I'm not a big blow dryer. I might blow dry it today just with some key areas here and there, but I think I'm just going to work with that. So lengthwise, nice and long. So I'm going to sort of aim to keep some of that length, but I want to take a little bit just because as I'm looking at those ends.
Those ends are very...
Yeah, but just a little bit keeping it, I think for me is important, but I do want to put a lot of layers in. I think that's going to be fun for me with those layers. Okay, so I think we're happy with the consultation. I know what I'm doing. We've got fringe. We're going to work some shorter layers. We're going to take a little bit of length off. But again, we're going to aim to keep a lot of hair that we can have bounce, curl, movement, texture, lots of fun. So let's jump right in and get to it. When was the last time you washed your hair?
Last night, actually.
Oh, nice. So brand new.
It was needing it.
Nice.
It's been a few days.
Okay, so we're shampooed. Just used a nice basic hydrating conditioner, or shampoo and conditioner, just to give a nice little feel to the hair, nothing too much. Hair's feeling really heavy as I'm going through now after I've got some water to it. So knowing that, I know I'm going to add probably a few more layers to the hair and just work with the texture to release some more curl and movement, which I think will be really fun. Now, I've decided to map the haircut out today. So I'm going to go through, put a fringe in, and I'm going to work with shape where we layer the front and we layer the back in the center, but we start to keep a bit more width onto the sides. So we get movement, volume on the side as well, and then a bit of lift through the back. So changing the haircut or deciding and designing the section pattern is one of the things I like the most about cutting hair. Because when you are designing a section pattern, a haircut, you're really bespoke in the placements, looking at root direction, looking at how the skull shape is, all of these kind of details. So for me, that's one of the biggest things I like to do. I love simplicity. Simplicity is key. So the simplicity of this haircut is we actually break it down into 3 sections. Fringe, layers on the sides, and then layers at the back, and then the perimeter I'm just going to detail to finish. So first of all, I'm going to work a rough parting through the front. Doesn't be too clean. We're going to work it very soft for later on. But I'm going to go through and just take these partings just in a triangular section, just around the face. This I'm going to work later, and we're going to aim to kick this back away from the face as well, just so it's designed to sit away from the face, because that way it's going to be easier for Jessica when she goes to style it or just leaves it. She can brush it and just forget about it. So let's clip the other way. I don't want to come too far back because it's going to then take away hair that I want around the face within the styling and layering. So just keeping that there. Neck shape is going to be where I want my width to be. So where I want the hair to converge to on the side. So looking at the side, do I want it further forward, just around the ear, or do I want it a bit further back, just so it sits off the head a little bit? This will give me more layers in the front and less in the back. So I'm actually looking here as I start to move that and just start to see this natural break happening. So I'm going to work to that natural position because that's always the easiest to work with. Work with the hair rather than against it, and just working that parting straight down from the top down to the area. These could be different on both sides, to be honest. We're going to just look for that natural sort of shape, that natural parting. Comb down, release that tension, release that movement, seeing that parting happening. It's looking like it is slightly off to the other side, but that's no problem whatsoever. It's going to be a very textured haircut to start anyway. So, partings in place, working to the natural partings. As you can see, come closer in with the camera here, I want to just show you this. Because most time we will think about having perfect partings, perfect sets on the head, but when you're working with a natural head, natural growth pattern, we can see here, we're slightly off. So if you come to the top, you can see that parting's not, exactly where it needs to be. But that's going to give me a natural flow to the hair. So when we do work naturally, with a lot more movement to it, it's just going to converge and sit soft, nice and easy. So yeah, fun things to work with, which is nice. I'm going to start by working through the center. And we're going to work layers from short to long. So we're going to work what we call a little bit of a profile parting, a center parting, a guide. I'll be working my shape with this first of all, cutting this length, shorter in the crown, longer towards the length. Then the sides will be overrected in to this guide. So the shape will be shorter through the center, pushing the weight towards the front. Then we grab my scissors. I got sent a pair of scissors from Bobby Gould from Shear Enterprises. So I'm testing these scissors for the first time today. They're a V10 stainless Japanese steel, so looking forward to working with them. Just semi-offset with a static tang to it, so really nice for balance. Similar to the scissors I use already, so I'm really looking forward to just seeing how smooth they work and how they cut. So good luck for these scissors. I'm looking forward to working with them. Love working with new tools, so here we go. Okay, so strong elevations first of all. I'm going to comb up from the roots, nice and clean. We're going to go from shorter around the crown to longer towards the length. Oh, that cut good. I like them. Smooth. Okay, here we go. A little bit of texture, keeping that shape nice and long. Point comb all the way through. Continue to work to the length of the back and all the way up. Find that guide, elevate and cut. So what's really cool with this is if I do work to my perimeter length, if I reach it, great. If I don't, if I cut it off, I'm just going to blend into that length through the back. But here's going to give me a nice lot of length all the way through. I'm going to go through and check this guide. This will be the guide for most of the haircut. So I want to make sure that this length on the side sits pretty good. I think we're going to go shorter than that. Well, just because like, yeah, go for it. Look, she's more than happy. I love it. That's it. That's the energy I love in the mornings. It's it. We had an early morning cut today, so again, we're all a little bit tired because it's first thing. So let's work that detail out from that crown and continue to cut all the way through. Nice. Work that length, nice and high. I think we're pretty good through there. It was just the crown area I wanted to take shorter. And here we are with a good length all the way to that perimeter edge. Nice, perfect. Okay, we're gonna work the next section. Just work a pivoting from the top all the way down to the nape, and then we will over direct this into the center. We could work it round and work a traveling guide through to the side, but that's gonna give me a lot more width through here. And remember, I wanna push the hair towards the sides, give me a bit more width on the sides with extra length. So that's why I'm over directing back to the center to maintain the length towards the front. I'll start working with more hair, so being a bit cleaner as we go through to cut. I might even work to the wide teeth of the comb, just so the hair can pick up the amount of hair I'm working with. Strong comb, clean from the roots, all the way through to the center. Hold, find that guide, elevate up, lift the elbow. We're going to redo that just because it wasn't that clean. Find the guide, find the shape, and off we go. Perfect. Let the hair fall over, and I can cut into the blades, or into the hair with the blades, nice and smooth. There we go. So Jessica, you said you don't use heat on your hair.
Yeah.
Any reason for no heat? Anything for just personal preference? Just
personal preference. I know it's not great for my hair, and then it just takes too long for me in the morning. I'm like, you know what, we're fine.
So it's more time relation than anything else.
Yeah.
Just, you know, if I can leave it to dry naturally and I get a great result, then perfect. Excellent. Love that. Love that. That works. I mean, it's always tough in the mornings to, you know, to get ready. So we can speed that up in any way. It's worth doing. I do the same with my hair. You know.
Must be nice.
It's pretty nice, actually. It's pretty good, yeah. It's one of those benefits of you know, losing your hair, that you feel like, oh, I've got less to do with it. That's it. Actually, knowing I was going to be on camera today, I actually cut it in the garage before I came down. So it was.
Quick little snip.
That's it. I was like, the sides need cutting a bit shorter, so off we go. So actually woke up, down there, grabbed the clippers. Here we go. Getting prepped ready for the shoot. Okay, comb that down, that's looking good. So foundation's in there. I'm going to go through and put a little bit more texture as we go through later, but looking good. So we're going to repeat the same technique on the other side. I'm going to go through on this side for everyone watching. Usually we over direct towards ourselves, but here I'm going to go through and push the hair to that center, just so I can maintain that hand position. For me, the hand position in this cut is going to be really important. Because I'm working with such length from short to long, if I start to stand on this side and pull, my base of my hand is going to really interfere with that shape. So I'm deciding to stand on this side, push towards the middle, but actually use the mirror as a guide so I know I'm staying clean. And the other direction is as strong and secure as from the other side. So just being consistent, I think for me is really important as I'm cutting on both sides. That consistency is key to getting a nice clean result, a nice balanced, even result as well. So here we go. Got a good shape through there. So Matt, come see the camera angle here. You can see we've got beautiful layers. I'm going to go through and take an inch or so of that once I've done the perimeter. Beautiful layers working through. One thing I am looking at, I want to sort of just show the camera, is this area in the middle here. I'd love to give that a little bit more lift just in that initial center. So I'm going to go through and just work a triangle out through this middle. elevate this up and work a disconnection through this point and take this even shorter around the crown. So this is now sort of really working bespoke and creative with my client's hair. Very importantly, looking at every step of the way, making sure that I'm really comfortable and happy with all of the details I'm creating. When we are working these kind of techniques, again, they are disconnections. So always need to make sure that we look, be consistent in what we're creating. As you can see now, just through that middle, that little bit is now just layering a little bit more lift around the crown and just softening those areas. And that for me blends so much more beautifully just by taking those extra bits out. So little tips and tricks of the trade there. Let's do some fun stuff. We're now going to work through to the front. So we will be disconnecting the front from the back. We will do an area of connection around this area when we finish. But I'm going to go through and cut all of this in the shape I want. It'd be a similar shape to what we've done behind. So shorter at the top and longer to the outside. Look for guide to length around the jaw area. I think it's going to be good for me. Let's have a little look at that. Nice and soft, perfect. Same again, working those angle forward partings, combing forward. The stronger the comb forward, the steeper the shape, the more layers I can get away with. So nice strong over direction to that front area. Last section. All the way. So we can start to see through this area now that I'm cutting the top. The underneath is not really reaching, which is absolutely good, because I don't want to cut everything in my hand all the time. Just cut the areas that need to be cut. This way we're going to start to maintain our shape, our length, our details towards the outside edge, and that's where the shape will really develop. So coming through to that side, as we can see, combing down, got my length, short to long, my layers through here and here, again, short to long on those sides. But is that short enough? That's the question, is it short enough? You're like, I don't know, you tell me, you're the professional, that's it. You know, I am the professional, I'm the one choosing it, let's do it. I want to take it shorter, it needs it, so let's do it. And you know, just so everyone can see in the camera why, I know I'm going to put a fringe in later, but this is still just sort of too long. It's still sitting too heavy. Through the consultation, the big thing was about actually taking this off shorter so we have a lot more shape to it. So that for me is really key. Let's continue with that and do that same result. So we just need to go even shorter. So we will do the same position. I'm going to stand a bit further towards the center. Come up. Find that guide. And now I'm going to just position that so I can cut to the sides. You can all see in the camera. That's looking good. Shorter areas now around the jaw. Went for the chin before, but now we're going a little bit lower. Really getting quite steep with those, even disconnecting through the point cutting or through the deep point cutting for the extra softness. Same shape again. And for me, when I'm working in the salon, that's one of the key things in the salon working with my clients. I'm not always trying to think, get it done in one go. I'm going to bespoke my haircuts. I'm going to be looking at what works on the client. Cut a bit, check it, cut a bit, check it. I'm creating sort of the art for myself. I'm creating what I love to do, which is, a beautiful look for my client. I know they're the same as me. All they want to do is leave with beautiful hair. So the more I can, choose the right angles, the right shapes, by playing back and forth and not being worried that I'm creating, taking too long or something like that. I'm actually creating something which is, beneficial for them and me. I'm happy. I'm going to stand from behind now, take a guide, just so I can have my finger position in the same shape that I was wanting before. I'm going to stand on this corner so I can mirror the angle of the pattern I'm working towards. I'm going to come forward, find that guide, elevate up as high as I can, nice and steep. Work through to that guide. Same again, and off we go. So being consistent both sides, using the comb to control the hair as I'm combing it through my fingers and working that beautiful detail all the way. Okay, next section. Find my guide, elevate out, here we go. Using the full length of the blade to cut. So really keeping a separation between my fingers and the hair I'm cutting so I can have a nice texture. Now Matt, come just shoot this from this side, this last section. So really letting the hair fall over, controlling it with a comb, letting the hair fall into the blade as I'm cutting all the way through to those edges. There we go. Let's see how that balances. We're pretty good. Nice. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go through and connecting these layers at the top. There will be a bit of a disconnection, so let's make sure that that is connected. Because the disconnection, remember, we've gone from shorter at the front to longer at the back, shorter in the middle to longer on the side, so that's going to, again, be that longer point. So as I go through now and connect this, we can start to see we've got shorter areas for the front, the longer that's actually connecting really well. I just need to visually blend those corners. Honestly, didn't even really need much, which was great. So that's perfect. That's actually done all the work for me. Yeah, I love it. Perfect. Okay, let's do the fringe. Okay. I'm getting hair everywhere, look at this. Okay, so just because you wear your part in different sides, don't you?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I just usually flip it.
Flip it. You like to flip it back and forth? Perfect. So knowing that, I actually want to take length away from the sides, leave some length in the center, so when we flip it, we have short to long, working on both sides. So to do that, I'm going to work it just to the side, and I'm going to rotate and flick and cut, and I'm going to do the same to the other side as well. So from this area here, I'm going to come down, I'm going to work back. Let's cut from the underneath. So when we part that, that can then kick to the side, that can kick to the side, but most importantly, when you flick it, you have those layers blending in to the edge. And I think consistent with the haircut, as we've gone through, take it shorter.
Sure.
Maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit.
Do it.
So to take it shorter, I actually want to take the middle shorter. So I'm going to go through and just take a section out through the center. I'm liking the outsides, how they're flicking, but I'm going to work through a middle section. And I'm actually, instead of keeping it longer as I suggested earlier, I'm now going to take it shorter. Again, artistic licensing, I'm changing as I'm going because I'm wanting to see how it goes. Evolving the haircut and moving it through. So through here, we're going to comb down, and I'm just going to work that point cut. Back and forth, shatter into the hair, pick the hair up, work it through, nice and soft all the way. But you can see by me working through here, I'm not taking a lot of length off, I'm more taking the weight out. That's allowing the fringe to develop softness. Visually working that guide up and then back on itself just to release some weight. Take the next section behind, just the top of the ear, or behind the ear actually. Comb that forward. Make sure that blends. Make sure that blends, it does. Perfect. And that's enough to put that shape through that front. So same on this side. Diagonal back to the ear. Coming forward. Nice and long, visualize that shape. I'm going to work just up to that point. So again, this haircut as we've worked it has been very organic with the progression. We've looked at the shapes, we've looked at the textures, we've let the haircut evolve by itself. We've worked with it, we've played around with the textures. We've looked at how it sits on the face. Have we evolved it? Yes. Have we changed it as we've gone through? Yes. Is that okay? Of course, because the whole idea behind this haircut and this feeling and this shape is that we want softness. We can see beautiful layering around the face. Last thing we've got to do now is just go back and check the perimeter. Come on over, come and check this out. I've got a hairdresser that's promised to keep length, and we've kept length, which is really nice. Just like, wow, we've kept some length in there. Love that, love that. All the way to my corner. Jessica, how's the hair feel so far? Feels good?
Great.
That's in. Not too much of a change, but just enough that gives it a lot more body, a lot more movement to it, a lot more energy around the face. So when you're at home and you leave it, you can then just, have more fun.
Yeah.
You can flick, and you can have all of that weight and layers on one side, and then again on the other side. So versatility, ease, movement, but most importantly, we've kept length. Yes.
Love it.
Perfect. Okay, let's go through and blow dry, and let's see the shape. So just working through a nice blow dry lotion. Now that Jessica doesn't put a lot of products in her hair, or doesn't dry her hair a lot, I'm just going through and just doing a nice light spray. I'm using the anti-gravity spray from Kevin Murphy today. I'm grabbing the hairdryer. I'm going to use a nice lot of heat today. I want the hair to swell. I want it to be nice and big and full, so I'm going to use a lot of heat to it. You'll probably know by my videos I don't use a lot of speed in my blow dries. I like to swell the hair and keep it nice and soft and nice and full. So just a medium speed and then just a high heat is going to be great. Going to work into the roots, get some volume, going to work into the shape. I'm going to rough dry it, and then I might put a brush through later just to smooth some ends, see how it goes. Again, see how the haircut develops within the style. Some big hair, look at that. By knowing the hair type and texture a bit more now, I mentioned earlier on in the beginning part of the video that I might go through and texturize and take a lot more weight out. But seeing how the hair does have that air of frizz to it when it's natural, I don't want to go through and distress it too much and make it too fluffy when it dries naturally. So keeping some of the integrity, keeping some of the strength in it, I think for me is really important. I'm liking the texture and the curl we've got. I do want to maybe do a little bit to the fringe just to soften and lighten some areas. As I'm moving it back and forth, I'm just seeing, could be look a little bit weighted. I quite like it, but I'm just thinking I might want to change those. So I'm going to go through, comb the hair, check the perimeter, check the base, check everything, make sure I'm really happy, and then we go to finish off. But I think one of the biggest things I want to get through within this is the blow dry itself was just random sections. It wasn't subdivided and worked with a lot of structure. That sounds better, get my right words in there for the camera. But it was worked in a way where I just grabbed sections, manipulated it, folded back and forth. Some were twisted forward, some were back, some were kicked, some were tucked. So when we do start to move it, again, it just looks a bit more organic, just looks a little more natural, more like it's sort of done at home, if you will, just with a softer, again, more of a uncontrived kind of finish to it. And I like that edge, which I think it looks really nice. So as I said, I'm going to go through and check the haircut, and then we'll put some products in to finish. So all I'm going to do is just especially through here, feels heavy for me. So I just want to go through and just address these. I'm just going to elevate and just point cut into the top. I don't want to take any length away. I like the length, looking at proportions on the face, how it sort of moves from the chin, jaw area down. I'm happy. I just want to take away that roundness to the top. So that for me is all I'm really going to focus on. Going to add a little bit of Young and Dry Conditioner to the hair, again from Kevin Murphy. This is very light particles on this one, so don't try to breathe too much right now. A little bit for good luck. There we go. A bit of Shimmer Me Blonde as well. It's just going to go on my hands, this one. Do you have a preference which side today? You'll probably flip it 3 times before we finish anyway, so. I'm not sure which side I prefer. I'm like, which side do I prefer? I think I'm leaning towards there. I think I'm leaning towards that one. So as you can see on Jessica's hair today, we worked a beautiful result, lots of layers, really just enhancing what she's got. Again, when a client comes into the salon, it's not about what we take off, it's about what we leave on that's most important. But again, we did take a lot of length off, but mainly just internally, because we want to put more layers around the face, get that versatile fringe that moves back and forth and gives it a nice result, which I think what we've done really well. The idea behind it was the fringe was separated, and we worked that a few different ways, funnily enough, to give you a bit more detail to it, but mainly sort of shorter through the center and from the outside, so it moves. Layers were shorter in the front at the top, longer towards the back, around the corner, then opposite through the back area, shorter around the crown, longer towards the perimeter, over-directed into the middle to allow the weight to push the hair to the sides and give a bit more width to the overall style. So for me, just a lovely haircut. I hope you've liked the techniques. I hope you liked the idea behind it. I hope you liked all the education. Again, please do the great stuff for us. Like, subscribe, comment, give all the feedback. I'd love to hear from you. You all stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.